Hello and welcome to episode 375 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. Our work week is coming to a close, and we got the return of the NFL. Week 7 here, kicking off tonight. Thursday Night Football, primetime matchup, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, guys, always the wait from Monday to Thursday feels like forever. Remember on Monday, cashing that huge Atlanta Falcons plus 4.5 ticket. Well, the long wait is over, or the short wait is over, because we got another NFL game here to talk about. So I do have a play on tonight's game, Pittsburgh-Cincinnati. It includes a really good Green Star recommended plays from Rhythm. I did want to mention, because it's a Thursday, it is the Rhythm Rundown Day. So if you have not heard or aren't aware, every Thursday night, we've been doing this since week 1, or prior to week 1, I think it was week 0 of college football last week in August. But we do a Rhythm Rundown live stream on Twitter. So at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight, myself and my buddy Cade Harper, we will be having a rundown of the full breakdown of tonight's game, all of our Rhythm system matches for college on Saturday, all of our Sunday matches. So it's always a lot of fun. And the whole goal of the Rhythm Rundown is to not only hopefully identify some winning bets and help people cash some tickets, but the bigger goal is to teach users how to use Rhythm to your advantage. So Rhythm, obviously you guys know, I've partnered with Rhythm for going on 2 years at this point. I love Rhythm because it allows me to operate like my own personal professional bettor. And what I mean by that is, I'm a data-driven bettor. So I'm focusing on what the market is doing, what it opened at, where it is now, how it's moving, splits, system matches, all these other factors we look at. Wise guys do it completely differently. So true professional bettors, they're not looking at the market, they're playing discrepancy plays. So they're operating as their own sports books in a way where they're setting their own power ratings, they're coming up with their own lines on games, and when their lines are way off from what the odds makers are offering, the bigger discrepancy, the bigger the advantage. So if they say, hey, I have this dog at plus 1.7 and the dog is plus 3.5 in the betting market, Sharp's going to hammer the dog, obviously, because that provides an actionable value or an actionable edge against the sportsbook. So Rhythm provides you all these AI-backed models. So they'll tell you, hey, we have this game at 3.1, 6.2. And to me, and we always talk about this on the Rhythm Rundown, there are some people who like to just say, hey, give me the Green Star recommended plays, the smart signals, the best plays, I'll tail them. What I like to do is kind of start with my own market research and then use Rhythm as that cherry on top. So again, if I'm looking at the dog, they're matching up for me, sharp reverse line movement, low bets, higher dollars, tons of bet splits, and they're plus 7 in the market, and Rhythm says they should be plus 5.1. Boom. That's just another cherry on top. Helps me feel more excited about my bet. So with Rhythm, again, you can use promo code START25 for 25% off. There's a refer a friend discount. You can also join the leaderboard contest, hopefully make some money. But we will be having our regular Rhythm Rundown tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So all you got to do is get on Twitter. You can follow me at Josh_insights, and we'll go live. You'll see it on the homepage. You go to my account. The profile icon will be lit up with a little border. You hit that, boom, you're right in. So look forward to seeing all of you in the rundown tonight. And also want to thank everyone who has tuned in, from day one here. It really does mean a lot. Tonight should be fun too, because my buddy Cade Harper, I'm in Boston, or I'm in a suburb outside of Boston. My buddy Cade Harper, he's an Ohio guy. So he actually direct messaged me, or he texted me this morning. He said, I'm going to the game tonight. So he is going to the Bengals game. And he said, I'm trying to, set it up so that I can do the live stream, the rundown from the tailgate at the Bengals. So as long as his, internet works and everything, it should be pretty awesome where, again, he'll be coming to us live from the Bengals Stadium here tonight. So that should be pretty cool. Next, I will be joining my buddy Patrick Maher, as I do every Thursday night, late night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be joining Patrick on the VSiN Live Mad Dog radio show. So very much looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll have a winner here tonight in the NFL. Now, looking back toward last night, guys, man, we were so hot. We were due for some team to let us down. And unfortunately, it was the Delaware Blue Hens, because that game was pretty disgusting from start to finish. The really frustrating part about that game, so obviously, lost 0-1, -1 unit. Really like the rest first tired advantage, good sharp steam, good sharp splits. Looked like there was an advantage with a quarterback being a veteran type guy versus the young rookie making his second career start. But what happened? Delaware pretty much gets blown out. They lost 38-25. Really wasn't that close and was pretty much just disgusting from the start because Delaware committed all these turnovers. First play of the game, they have this big, deep pass down the middle. The tight end gets absolutely crushed, and he fumbles the ball, but it looked like it was targeting. They reviewed it. They said it wasn't targeting. So instead of a catch or getting a 15-yard penalty or getting that guy ejected, no targeting. Guy fumbled. They brought it back and scored. So literally from the very start, we were kind of behind the 8 ball there. So sometimes that's going to happen. Again, good sharp steam to Delaware. -1.5 up to -3. Didn't show up for us. So couldn't get the winner there last night. But hey, you're not going to win every time. So let's see if we can start a new winning streak here for tonight. So that being said, one play today, guys. We're going to focus. And again, I know there's a college football game. I know there's Major League Baseball. There's hockey. We'll dabble when we see some system matches. But football's treat us pretty well. So let's try to focus on the one big game tonight. See if we can go 1-0. Now, full breakdown of tonight's game. Remember, this is Amazon Prime. So get your Prime ready to go. 8:15 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Little background with these teams. The Steelers come in 4-1. They've won 3 straight. Just took down the Browns 23-9. Covered as a 6.5 point home favorite. Meanwhile, the Bengals 2-4. Remember, they started 2-0. Joe Burrow got hurt. They've lost 4 straight. Just lost to the Packers 27-18. They did cover, though, as a 14-point road dog. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened with the Pittsburgh Steelers listed as low as a 4-point road favorite. And it's pretty clear that early money laid it with Pittsburgh because we've seen this line move -4 up to -5.5 in favor of the Steelers. But this is what's really important to me. Typically I want to be with a line move, especially if it's a reverse line move where the public is on the other side. And yet, again, dead giveaway, the line's going to the unpopular side. But I always look at line moves in terms of how far do they go and when and if and when there's buyback that takes place. Like, does it move to a number that then you start to see the juice get lit up the other way and it starts to kind of come back the other way? Like, has the market over adjusted? And it looks like that has happened because Pittsburgh -4 got up to -5.5. I think maybe 1 or 2 shops got to 6. A lot of books didn't get to 6. But anytime it got to 5.5, you've then started to see some sharp buyback on the Bengals as an inflated contrarian divisional primetime dog. So how do I know that? Well, first, the fact that we aren't at 6. 6 is a key number. Tells me the books don't want to go to 6 for fear of giving out that key number to Bengals backers. But also, if you pay attention to the juice, if you're looking at your Odds Logic live odds page, remember, 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month. Use oddslogic.com/Josh123 to get those advantages. But if you look at the juice, you're not seeing basically -5.5, -115, -120 like it's going to 6. Most books are -5.5, -110 even, or they're +5.5, -115 towards Cincinnati. So basically, most of the market is leaning back towards Cincinnati, juicing up the Cincinnati side, like maybe it's getting down to 5. And what's really important here is the fact that we're sitting at kind of a dead number or a no man's land number, like 5.5. You're kind of right in the middle of nowhere. And it's always important to me when you're in that kind of dead zone, where's the next move? So one thing you can do between now and kickoff is stare at your live odds page and see which direction the line moves next. Like, does it get up to 6? That's obviously a better sign for Pittsburgh, bad sign for Cincinnati. Does it fall down to 5? That'll be a great sign for Cincinnati. And again, based on the juice, you are seeing a couple books lean toward that Cincinnati side. You look at the splits, it's really not a huge contrarian play because right now at DraftKings, the Bengals are getting 48% of spread bets, 52% of spread dollars. So it's basically even, but technically that would be low bets, higher dollars on the Bengals. Here's what's important to me though. Out at Circa in Vegas, 49% of spread bets are on the Bengals, but the Bengals are getting 70% of spread dollars. So basically DraftKings is about even, but you look at Cincy, only half the tickets at Circa, but 70% of the money. So it tells me the bigger, sharper wagers out in Vegas are playing the Bengals here. Bengals will just be a classic inflated primetime divisional dog. So you're getting a one-off, heavily bet game, and you are a primetime dog, which primetime dogs have treated us very well this year, knock on wood. Let's hope it continues, but primetime dogs are 13-6 against the spread, 68% this season, and they are 154 and 132 ATS, 54%, with a 3% ROI since 2020. Then listen to this. If you just isolate primetime dogs getting 5 points or more, they are 73 and 52 against the spread, 58%, with a 12% ROI since 2020. So primetime dogs have barked, and primetime dogs getting 5 points or more have barked even louder. You also have a just classic buy low, sell high, where Pittsburgh is on a 3-game winning streak. Bengals are on a 4-game losing streak. If you look at dogs off a blowout loss, dogs off of just any kind of loss, playing an opponent off a win, they're 15-11 against the spread this year, 58%, 10% ROI. Cincinnati would also be a classic divisional dog, so built-in familiarity, leveling the playing field. The rivalry aspect typically benefits the team getting points. If you look at Thursday Night Football divisional dogs, since 2019, they are 29-23 against the spread, 56%, with a 7% ROI. Then, just got to mention Mike Tomlin here, because Mike Tomlin, as you may know, is one of the best, almost a auto bet when he's a dog. When Tomlin's a dog, he's 64-34 against the spread, 65%, 27% ROI. But when Tomlin is a favorite, he's only 93-101 ATS, that's 48%. And if he is a favorite laying 5 or more, he's 44-52 ATS, 46%. So Tomlin has been awesome as a dog, has been below water, below 500 here as a favorite. He's obviously favored here tonight. Again, if you tell me you want to tease Cincinnati, I'm not going to argue with you. 5.5 up to 11.5. Then you do go through the 7 and the 10, so that's notable. Now the total's interesting because it has gone up. That's kind of surprising a bit. Typically, you see these divisional matchups. I have a lot of systems here like primetime divisional unders, outdoor divisional unders. But we've seen this total go up from 42.5 to 44.5. Some shops even at 45. And the splits look good on the over. 57% bets, 63% dollars at DK. And at Circa, 55% bets, 86% dollars. So both books are showing a pretty good split toward the over. And the weather, really not a factor here in Cincinnati. It's going to be a pretty good night, like mid-50s, clear skies, very modest, like 3 to 5 mile per hour winds. So it's not a windy night. It's not, rainy or anything like that. So the weather looks pretty good. So again, typically I lean unders. And I do have a lot of under matches for this game, but I'm going to lay off the total because, again, it has ticked up here a bit. Maybe you want to take this total down. Like if you tease Cincinnati up to 11.5, I'm just thinking out loud here. I didn't make this bet, but again, because this total has risen up, can you take that 44.5 down to 38.5 and go over? Something like that. That could be worth a look. But I'm going to stick with Cincinnati here. To me, this is not a sharp play. Again, you do have sharp buyback, sneaky sharp buyback on the plus 5.5 being juiced up. And I would love to see between now and kickoff these 5.5s get down to 5. That would be further evidence and validation of big money coming on Cincy. But I do have a primetime dog, a divisional dog, as well as an inflated dog. Think of it this way. If you're laying Pittsburgh minus 5.5, you are getting the absolute worst of the number. You could have gotten a 4. If you're playing Cincy plus 5.5, you're getting the best of the number. So to me, that's the ultimate kind of buy low, sell high system match. But this is what really kind of sold me on this play. Again, you had me at primetime divisional dog in a heavily bet game, inflated dog. But then I popped open Rhythm. And Rhythm showed me some really, really good system matches on the Bengals. I have 2 models on the game. They are both on the Bengals, and they are both green star recommended plays. And one of them happens to be a smart signal. So I have a smart signal on the Bengals plus 5.5. Smart signals are basically the best of what Rhythm has to offer. And it looks specifically at situations like in this spot when the odds are between here and here. In this specific situation, it is a 67% hit rate on the Bengals plus 5.5. And it actually has Bengals predicted plus 4.4. And again, remember the number opened at 4 to begin with. So I have a green star, smart signal recommended, plus 4.4, and we can get a 5.5. And then I also have another system match here where Bengals should be plus 4.5. So here's what I was talking about earlier in the pod. Like if you can do your market research based on your live odds page, let's look at the movement. Let's see where the buyback takes place. Where's the juice? What are the splits saying? Low bets, higher dollars. What are the system matches saying? Primetime dog, yada yada. Fade Tomlin as a favorite, and then you can layer in the cherry on top with Rhythm telling us it should be about a 4.5 point game. That tells me we have an opportunity here to make a data-driven play on the Bengals. Last thing, shop for the best price. you do have quite a few books. I'm looking at ESPN Bet plus 5.5 minus 115, FanDuel plus 5.5 minus 114. But I noticed that BetMGM is offering Bengals plus 5.5 at minus 105. So that's what I did. I took that reduced juice at BetMGM. And again, think of it this way. You get a plus 5.5 minus 115. I get a plus 5.5 minus 105. Hopefully the Bengals cover the number and we both win our bet. But when you're betting Tris first betting to win, I'm going to get a little more back because I'm paying less juice in a bet Tris first bet to win situation. So I am going with the Bengals plus 5.5. And I also like the fact that I saw a tweet right as I was about to do the pod saying that Trey Hendrickson is out. Obviously, that's a bad thing. He's a really good sack artist, defensive end for the Bengals. And I was thinking, oop, this is going to go up to 6. It didn't. It stayed right at 5.5, and a lot of shops stayed juiced toward the Bengals. So maybe that means they already thought he was going to miss the game or didn't make that big of a deal. But I like the fact that this pretty much stayed where it's at, even though Hendrickson is out. So long story short, guys, not a sharp play, but a contrarian inflated value play on the Bengals as a dog, division dog, primetime dog. Great rhythm system matches here. So I'm going Bengals plus 5.5. Let's go, Joe Flacco. By the way, I have two quarterbacks been combined 80 years old, 81 years old. I think Rodgers is 41 and Flacco's 40. So let's do it for the old guys tonight. But hopefully we have Flacco. He covered the number last week against the Pack. Let's see if we can hopefully cover it here tonight as well. So give me Bengals plus 5.5. So that about does it, guys. Just a one and done here on a Thursday as we got, again, a big Thursday night football matchup here. But wrapping things up, I always want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the pod. Thank you for retweeting the pod when I tweet it out. It means a lot to me. So if you would like to help me grow the podcast, please, could you give it a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes? Click the follow button. Leave a comment under the review tab. Recommend the pod to a friend. That would all be very, very awesome of you to do, and I would very much appreciate that. Next, if you enjoy this style of betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, splits, system matches, focusing on numbers and money and splits, not focusing on what our heart or our bias or our gut is telling us. Again, you learn very quickly in sports betting, if you bet based on what you think or want or hope to happen, you're going to be losing very, very quickly, and you're going to lose a lot. So again, there's no magic, formula when it comes to being a winning sports bettor, but making bets based on numbers and not your bias, that's pretty much the start to making sharp plays here. So if you want to learn more about data-driven betting, you got someone in your life who could use some data-driven tips, you want to, again, let me know you appreciate the pod and support the pod. I would love for you to go to Amazon.com and then type in the Everything Guide to Sports Betting and the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. Those are my two books that I've written. I'm very proud of both, but they pretty much give you everything you need to know about a data-driven approach to the sports betting world. So if you want to pick up one or both of my books, give them a 5-star review on Amazon, and then bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy a beer or a ginger ale, and we'll sweat some sharp data-driven plays together. Next, you have Rhythm and Juice Reel. Well, I talked about Rhythm earlier, but go download Rhythm. Again, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Use promo code START25 for 25% off. Join the leaderboard contest. You can win up to $1,000 each week if you have the best created model. And then Juice Reel. Juice Reel has so many great different features. The first one that I really like is the fact that you can support the pod by getting the official All Systems Go Best Bet Picks from Juice Reel. It costs $4.99 a week. I consider it a tip jar. Again, you go out to dinner, the waiter, the waitress takes care of you, give them a good tip. Your water glass is getting low, they're right there to fill your water glass. That's always, they check in on you. How are things going? You go to the bar, you get a water. Anytime you're, I'm like an IPA guy. My Switchback, my Blue Moon's getting low. They're right there to get me another one. What do? You tip your podcast host, just like you would tip your bartender. So you can do it in the form of those $4.99 a week Best Bet Picks, and I would very much appreciate that because you're supporting the pod. And then also, you're going to get the Robo Jackson Best Bet Picks, the Sharp Mush Indicators, the Arbitrage Plays, the Shop for the Best Line Futures, all available when you download Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them a 5-star review in the App Store while you're at it. Next, do you have a live odds page? If you don't, you need one. I honestly don't know how people bet on sports and win if they don't have a live odds page, because you got to know the most basic important thing. Which way has the line moved? again, I see all the time on Twitter and like these gambling shows on TV where people don't even mention, oh, the line opened at 4 and it's up to 5, or it opened at 4, it's down to 3. Like, that is so important. And people don't even like pay attention to that. Again, that's telling you a huge part of the story. So the best live odds page around is Odds Logic. And I would love for you guys to give it a shot. It gives you the opening column, the current numbers, shop for the best line, get the best price, identify steam. Odds get lit up in red as they move. You can pull up the line history, see the juice and where the buyback has occurred. It's all available to you when you give Odds Logic a shot. So I gave you the special link before, but make sure you use it because it'll give you a 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month. That's oddslogic.com/Josh123. Next, do you know what a betting exchange is? It's kind of like a sports book, but it's different. It's different because you are not betting against the house. And when you lose, the house isn't taking your money. Betting exchange is basically you betting against other bettors. So if I lose a bet, I'd much rather another bettor gets my money versus obviously the house. In betting exchanges, the really cool thing is you get better numbers because you don't have to pay the juice that the odds makers set at the sports books. So you're getting better juice prices, and when you win, you're not going to get limited or kicked out. So I would love for you guys to give a shot to Novig, N-O-V-I-G. Download the app. You can fund it, and once you deposit your money, there's a little promo code. Put in Josh123. That'll give you a 100% deposit match up to $25. And for example, I'm looking at the Novig odds for this game tonight. You could play Steelers -5.5 at +100 or Bengals +5.5 at -103. So you're almost always getting a better juice price from Novig. And when you win, you can cash out just as you would a sportsbook. So that's another great reason to give Novig a shot. But anyway, guys, that about does it for episode 375 of the ASG pod on a Big Thirsty Thursday. As always, 2 final thoughts, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. You're going to walk up to me, and man, Delaware. Freaking Delaware. Come on, man. Turnovers left and right. Sharp line move. You lose outright. Sometimes that's going to happen. You make a sharp bet, team on the field does not come through for you. But again, keeping us hungry, keeping us honest. You can't win every game. Anytime, it's funny. Anytime I lose a bet or have a bad day, and my wife is like, "Oh, what's wrong?" and I'm like, "Oh, I went 1-2 or 0-5 or whatever the case may be." She always says, "Josh, you can't win them all." So you can't win them all, but we can make sharp data-driven plays and grind out winners long term. So as always, guys, whether we go 0-1, 1-0, 5-0, 0-5, hot, cold, somewhere in the middle, when we're super hot and can't miss, or we're ice cold and we can't hit the broadside of a barn, just got to not get too high or too low and just stick to the model and the blueprint. Bypass games with red flags, get down on games that check off our boxes. So if we can do that, find games that are against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, and I'm confident that we can, then guess what? We're going to be successful sports bettors. So have a great Thirsty Thursday, everybody. Let's go Bengals +5.5. I will see you at the Rhythm Rundown live stream on Twitter at 6 o'clock tonight. And if you have Sirius XM radio, tune in because I'll be on at 9 o'clock with my buddy Patrick Maher. And we always have a good time. I got to catch up with Patrick, see what he's up to. But good luck, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for a big Friday edition. That'll be episode 376 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and let's go Joe Flacco.